Hello, everybody. I'm Veronica La Consentida, and you are watching Tu Musica Mi Casa. Um, you know, I just really enjoy doing this because I get to introduce so many different people to the Las Vegas audience, which is so exciting. Today I have someone that you're not going to believe it, but I haven't even met him in person. This is like the first time we're going to get to chat, and it's on this show, which is really, really cool. Thank you so much to everyone. Please share the live. I just made it public. Sometimes this restream just automatically puts it just for friends. But now you can share. Please share with everyone. We are live on YouTube. We are live on TejanoTV.com. We are live on all my social media sites, and pretty soon we will be live on TikTok. That's another thing that we're going to be doing. I have hit the goal pretty close to be able to go live. So you guys check in with me. Yes, I am working on a lot of things. Yes, I am excited to be finally finished with my album. And yes, I am very excited to bring this guest on because he is someone that a lot of you guys know. A lot of you guys know this person, David Vela. He's always in all the chats, always giving the likes, always contributing something to everything he's watching. And I'm excited because I have never met him live. Never met him live. So let's bring him on. And now, with no further ado, David Vela. Hello.
Hello, hello, everybody. How you doing, Veronica? You
Hello.
can't believe we've always crossed passes, but we've never really seen each other.
I
Now,
know. I
it's
get to
cute to
see
see
you
you.
on here. Yeah. I'm not all artisted out. I guess that's what you call it, artisted out, but this is me.
And this is me.
You know what? It might be better that we're not standing next to each other because I heard you're super tall.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big guy.
How tall are you?
I was never like that. I was always a slim gym uh, guy, kid, and then all of a sudden, when I started playing in higher levels, they were feeding me to make sure I got bulky, and I, I'm like, oh man, I was better just slim. Now I'm still slim, but it's just a little different.
You look great. I've got Gabriel saying hello. Hi, saludos from Arizona, Gabriel. I've got Belen Ruby watching.
Yeah,
Hello.
baby.
Awesome help, amigos Vero and David. Vicky V is online. She's saying
Hey,
my
nice to see you.
bestie. Yes. And yeah, so we've got some people tuning in little by little. They're going to be coming in here because who doesn't want to know more about David Vela? Like, you know everything about us, but we don't know that much about you. Like,
Yeah, I try to keep myself real low key.
I know, but that's actually good, right? To
Yeah,
keep your
it
life
is.
low key
It's
sometimes.
I like to mostly support everyone and people, and I mean, I like to be supported by them also. But a lot of
Yes,
people I really don't know, and people that I do know, I know and they know I support them, and I've just been
yes,
that the
you
type of
really
person.
do. You really do. I never met you in person, and right away when you heard about me, you really motivated me to keep going. I never told you that, but knowing that people from Texas were listening and liking the music, it just motivated me. It kept me going because I was like, I hope someone likes what I'm doing. And you did. You kept
Yeah.
telling me, like, keep going, do this. This is great. And I was like, wow, this is such a nice person because you didn't even know me.
No, no, I do that to a lot of people that are on podcasts. I like to just support them, and I mean, I'm sure we'll go into my stories in a little bit, but just the support. I like to support people in what they do and what they're trying to do, because I'm already at an age where I've done what I needed to do, and then something came along, and I'll get into that later, and it's just the support, and of course.
It's wonderful. We've got TDK watching.
That's my man, TG. That's my man. We took a picture together, and I still have that picture in my my Facebook with him.
Yes, and
You
he
know, I'll keep
always
it forever. And when he teaches me how
another
to
one.
dance like he does.
Yeah, he's another one that just he's there, he supports, he shows love and support to the artists. He was another one that when I first started, I mean, I'll never forget you and him and different people that I just felt like, wow, everything I'm doing, they're kind of watching and they're pushing and they're motivating me to keep going. So
Yes,
it's
yes,
just super super nice
yes,
for people like me that we're not from Texas. We come in, we're trying to achieve something, and
yes.
just to have that love and support is amazing. And I hope you know I love and support you as well. Like I watch what you do, your acting, and especially doing stuff that's biblical.
Yes, I know.
That's like amazing.
That's a big one. That's yeah, I'll explain that later. Actually,
Yeah, yeah. We've got Henry from New Mexico Radio Talk Show watching as well.
that's my man.
Henry,
That's my man, Henry.
yeah, Henry's there. Hello, Henry. Hello, nothing but love and respect. TDK says, and Vicky V is saying that where is she? Oh, I just lost her. Okay. She was saying he's amazing and he's like family to me. He always supports my daughters. That's what she's saying.
Oh yeah, her daughter's great. She's great. What she does with her daughter is it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, Tiger Mays is watching. Blessings,
No,
Veronica.
that's my other man. Tiger May. That's the one that flashes me everywhere. He just, I try to keep low, humble, quiet, but he throws me out there like crazy, and I don't want to deny it because I don't. Then I'm lying if I deny it. So I just say, okay, go ahead, Tiger.
But you know what? You definitely, when I see, I get a big smile when I'm anywhere listening to any podcast or any radio show and I see that you're there. It almost feels like you have to be there. Like you just complete the comments, you complete, what we're talking about or what we're seeing you in these feeds makes us feel very confident. I don't know what it is, but it just makes us feel good when you're there. It does. I may be speaking for a lot of people, I know what I feel that when I see you there, I'm like, oh, there's David Vela. We're good.
Well, yeah, and you're right, Veronica. Even the musical galas that were out, and I know they were giving me special awards and everything. And I know a lot of people know I'm not a musician. Now, can I sing? I don't know. I've never tried it. I think I did one with Lisa Lopez, this song that she did, the first one, and with Hacienda, Michelle Shea, and they go, "Oh, you can sing." I said, "No, no, don't even go there. Don't go there.
You
No,
never know what the future holds, right?
no, 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 no. I rather support the musicians that sing. I don't want to mess them all up with me singing."
No, no, not at all. No, so I wanted to start off by tell us a little bit. I started looking at some stuff there online and like you're very well known, like in the sports industry. You've done a lot of things. I saw some pictures of you very young,
Yeah, yeah. I won't even say my age. I'm sure. Yeah, I don't mind saying my age. I'm fine because
but
you
you've done so much. Like, who cares at this point? You know what I mean?
no, you're right. You're right, and and I'll get started to that because and I've told a few of these, I and people have been wanting to write documentaries of me from my childhood, and I'm just not ready for that to put myself in a book or anything. And people from colleges, professors have reached out. That's just not that's not me, because and I know a lot of us went through it when I was, raised. We were poor. We didn't have, back then it was tough, and everybody had tough times. And I don't want to just be like me. I mean, there's a lot of other people, but I always set myself a goal that, and just say sports, for instance. So in middle school, I didn't want to play football. I loved it, but my dad was, yeah, my siblings were going to play. So I said, okay. And I never played football, so I tried it. And in seventh grade, I was like a fourth string, a punter. I wasn't even, I wasn't even one of the starters. And we won the championship that time, but I didn't think I had a part of it because all I did was punt. So my coach told me, David, I think you're a football player. I think you're a track, because you're so fast. And there's a story that I'll say why I'm fast. So we didn't have a car, so my parents would have me go to the groceries, and I had to come back at a certain time. So
Oh,
I had to run and get whatever they needed and get back at the time that they wanted me to.
that's a good reason.
So when I was running, or actually I was jogging down the street, well, back then the dogs didn't have to be behind the fence.
Oh, I know. I
They
remember
were,
that.
they were chasing me. So it's either I fight them or they bite me. So I was running
Oh,
faster and faster and just jumping fences. And that's became a thing for me throughout my sports, because every time uh, I played, I was always thinking dogs were after me.
oh
So I
my
would get
God.
to the touchdown quicker.
Did you have
So
nightmares?
yeah, so in middle school I was like fourth string and third string, so I was never the guy, the go-to guy. Then in high school, my high school coaches decided to put me in a different position, and I was a wide receiver. And I said, well, my brothers played running back. They said, you're not a running back. I said, okay. So I did it. I tried it. And sure enough, I was blessed throughout my 4 years, and I got a scholarship and to play football. The education part was tough for me, in those days. But I had a scholarship to go play football at a small school, which is Southwest Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas. Now it's Texas State. So back then it was a smaller school. And I said, well, I want to make my parents proud. I'm going to go to school and try to do my education, which I wasn't all brain. you
So
know,
originally, were you from which city? Because I read something about Burbank. Are you originally from Burbank?
no. So I'm from San Antonio. I was
Oh,
raised and born in San Antonio, Texas.
okay.
I went to Burbank High School in San Antonio,
Oh, in
and
San Antonio.
it's a small South Side school in San Antonio, which is 99.5 Latino. And we would never get scouts from whatever sport it was to come look at us, because they just didn't see any Latino in that school that was good enough to go to the next level in college. And I didn't try to prove anybody wrong. I just worked harder. So every day after my practices, I would stay another hour or two and just run and do little things to hopefully one day do get a scholarship. And my parents couldn't afford school. I didn't want to go to the military. I mean, I have brothers who went, but I didn't want to go. I wanted, what am I going to do at that time? So when the scouts came and recruited me and said, we're going to give you a scholarship, my parents and I, we started crying because my parents go, we couldn't afford to
Oh,
send you to school. And so my dad was tough, and I didn't want to come back home, because a lot of people go to college, they quit or they stop because they're homesick. And in the Latino community or culture, we stick together as a family. You don't want to leave the house. But I did. And I just happened to do it. And then, so I was in like a shell shock when I went to college, because there were other athletes from different cities coming, and they were a lot better than me. They were faster than me, even though I was fast. So it was a lot of competition. So I pushed and strived myself every day. And that's why I support all these other people, because what I did it on actually on my own. And I'm being honestly truthful about that, because I had nobody help me, because nobody wanted to. You're a Latino, you're never going to make it to this level, this level. So I just stayed late every day while everybody went to go eat at the cafeteria. Then I'd meet everybody there, and they look at me crazy and say, I don't know why you're doing it. It's nothing's going to happen. Well, my junior year in college, I started breaking all these records, and I was up there with some good receiving corps. I mean, I was up there even with running back like Eric Dickerson and all them. I was like the top of the top with the big Division I schools. But I didn't think about that, because that wasn't me. I was more of a team concept guy. I didn't like the individual accolades, like what I did. I just did it because I wanted to win. Well, in college, we ended up winning two national championships, and I was part of it. It wasn't because of me. And everybody said, oh, because you did it. It wasn't me. It was the team. And then my senior year, it was going to end, and I was still about 30 hours short. So I wasn't
Oh,
going to get the education. I wasn't going to get my degree because I was too far behind, and my 4 year um, was already scholarship was going to end, and I didn't. I was like, oh my god, now what am I going to do? I got to go back home and work after I went to school for 4 years. And then they started sending scouts from the NFL to come look at me and test me on the field and all this. I'm going, wow. I would tell the scouts, I said, you know, I'm Latino. I don't think there's that. I don't think there's one Hispanic or Latino wide receiver in the NFL. I never seen it. Now I know they had linemen and kickers, but maybe a quarterback here or there. But I was like, wow. Well, they said just keep working. I didn't know what was going to happen. So unfortunate, I ended up going to it's called the National Combine, which they picked the top 250 players in the whole U.S. And
I
you're
bet
talking
you were nervous. Were you
about
really nervous?
thousands and thousands of athletes who play for different colleges. And I was one of the 250. And I was like, so when I got to go work out with them in front of these big Division I school guys that were just awesome. And I was like in shell shock again. I was like, I'm going to compete against these guys. Okay. So um, then the draft was coming, and I went to my class and just thinking, what am I going to do? I was like, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call, and his name was Al Davis. He was the owner. And the reason I say Burbank and California is because we were the LA Raiders at that time. So when he called me and said, congratulations, you're going to be an LA Raider, which we ended up moving to Oakland after, so LA/Oakland Raiders. And I was in shell shock again.
So, what was your first thought when you got that call? Like, what crossed your mind right away?
I thought it was one of my teammates just,
Oh, joking with you?
yeah, because we didn't have cell phones. All we had was those little
Yeah, the dial ones.
in the dorm. But if you use the phone, you have to pay for it. Well, I never used the phone because I didn't have money to pay for it. But and when the call came, I thought it was somebody joking. And then when I walked out of the room, we had all my teammates throwing, cheering balloons and everything. And I was like, and they were,
And you're just
the
like
main
shocked.
thing was, wow, a Latino made it. Oh, wow. Mexican made it. Oh, okay. They're calling me all kinds of, because I was the only Hispanic on the team at that time
Wow.
in 4 years that I played.
Right.
And I became friends with everybody. But of course, everybody jokes, and it
Yeah.
didn't be what they said. I'm not going to be but then when I did make it, like I said, I was shell shocked going against, playing with Jim Plunkett, Marcus Allen, Lester Hayes, Howie Long, Gene Upshaw, Art Shell. I mean, um, Cliff Branch, Wilbert Montgomery. I mean, I can name all these guys. Ray Guy and Ted Hendricks.
That was God, right? That was God. He was like,
Guys
"Say
that were just
what?"
that are all pretty much in the Hall of Fame or whatever. But so afterwards, I would stay another hour, and people were going through my brain like, "Why are you staying? You're not going to make it. You're not, even though I already was on the team,
Right.
I had to still fight to get on the field. So I'd stay late. I work out, blah 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 blah, and the rest was history.
I know. I'm looking at these videos.
So,
I'm like, holy
so
moly.
when I think about music or anything, but the musicians, the ones that are artists, the young, the old. I could say old because I'm old too. But what they've done and what they're doing, that's why I support the music industry, which and with whatever the film, the acting, whatever. Um, so that was a blessing. Like I'm real humble, so I don't flash around with rings. I don't flash around with my jersey. I just walk the walk. I never wear anything. I think I only showed one other podcast. And I'll show you. So I don't walk around with this with all my rings. I
Wow,
walk
those are
around, wear
beautiful.
these rings, but why?
I
I'm
understand.
beyond. I'm beyond. I know I showed you earlier everything I have in
I know. We're gonna
my
see that in a bit.
pantry, which is my game room. It has. I have all my, and I'll get into that. My
Yeah,
movies,
yeah.
all my awards from sports. But I have it upstairs, and I never bring anybody up here. I don't ever bring people up here unless they want to come up. I'm fine. I have a big TV and stuff, but I don't bring them just to say, "Hey, look."
Is
I
that your man cave? Is that what it is?
kind of yes. So I was going to make it into a football field. So I have these big couches, like it's like a movie theater. Uh, I actually have um, these movie stars on the walls, not knowing what I was going to do.
Right,
So,
right.
uh, and I don't think a lot of people realize I'm a high school coach teacher. I've been doing it for 38 years. So that's my my life is that's what I do every day. I
That's
teach,
awesome. That's your
teach,
passion. Yeah.
and I've been doing it for years. But then I was invited to a celebrity basketball game, and they asked me as a role model in sports if I would participate and do it because they were giving money to the community, to the kids. I said, yeah, whatever for the community and the kids. Of course, I always do that. I went, I played, and there were some people there that asked me if I wanted to be an actor, and I said no. Why not? I said no. He said you did that on the field. I said I wasn't acting on the field. If I was, I would have been kicked out of the football game a long time ago. So I mean, but yeah, I played in front of 80, 90, 100,000 people every Sunday night, Monday night football, Thursday night. I mean, I was playing football in front of people. And here's something that when I got on the field, everybody was telling me to go back to the border, go back across the
Wow.
border. So they were calling me Taco Bell. That was his name was like Howard Cosell, and that's what he used to call me. Because back then you can do that. You can talk about somebody, and it's now you can't do that. But they were
As
telling
big as you are, I wouldn't even be able to
no, it was just to get to my.
would not
It
do
was
that.
just it was just to get to my head. So they were calling me all kind of names. So what I would do is I would tell them, but I would tell them in Spanish, and I can't say the words I was saying, but they were really exactly the words.
I don't have a
I was
beat.
telling them, and they're looking at me weird. So after the game, we become brotherhoods, and they hug me. They go, hey, Vela, what were you calling me?" And I was telling them what I was calling him. He goes, "Oh." I said, I go, "Well, now next time I say it, y'all at least know what I'm trying to tell you." But
Right.
I was getting to them as they were getting to me. So that's how I had to live the game because I think a lot of them felt, now Latinos are starting to be a little more in the NFL, mostly linemen again, kickers, some quarterbacks, um, probably a few receivers now that I've seen. But at my time, it was like kind of me, the Latino,
Right.
and I didn't go out there to prove to anybody anything. But a lot of them got the message that us as Latinos, and you see a lot of them stars in baseball, soccer, not too many in football, but um, and like I said, I've always been humble. Um, and then I got to wear the shirt, just do it because that's what I
Yeah.
did. I just did what I had to do. And I didn't have any help. I really didn't. I'd be honest with everybody. Nobody helped me after practice. Nobody wanted to stay and work with me. I asked, can you stay and throw me the ball? Just and this was in the college. This was in the NFL. They wouldn't stay
Yeah.
with me. They
Yeah.
were like looking at me like you're not gonna you're gonna be sent home. Why you want? And then when they figured out that wow, this guy's really can play,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it became more of a and which is sad. It's sad that I have to say that, but if you were to write a documentary about me, it's really sad. And but like I said, everybody has their story.
Yeah.
I would never go any any further than my middle school. I never talk about my elementary and what I the home life. I just go from the middle school because I wasn't just the one that everybody has problems and stuff, but I pushed myself, and that's why I was always telling you, don't give up. And I
I
told
know, and I
people in
appreciate
the
that.
music because the
Let's see.
music industry was not something that my dad would listen to the conjunto tejano. I didn't. I was really not into, I loved the music, but I wouldn't.
Are you
And
more
then,
into it now? Are you into it now? Like more
oh
music?
yes, yes, I love listening to it, and that's why I'm always on podcasts with people, even though they don't know me. I just say to support, not to
Right,
be not to be recognized, not to be networking, not to do anything other than I've already reached that level in sports. I don't have to prove myself to anybody, and I don't. If
right.
if they want to say something about whatever I talk about or whatever, who I am or whatever, I'm fine with it. I'm at the age where, I've reached my pinnacle, and now another door has opened, and I got into acting. Now I started with a small role on it's called "Say a Little Prayer" with Louis Fonsi, who's that famous Latin singer.
Before we go into your acting, I wanted to show a video of
Okay.
that I found online, and then you could tell me more or less what happened, like when they asked to do this. I guess it's kind of like a documentary, maybe a little bit about you, right?
Yeah,
That
they have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I found online. So let's watch a little bit and we'll come right back. Uh,
Okay.
and you guys, share the live. This video, I don't know if anyone else has watched it, but let's let the world know who David Vela is, right? And we'll be right back.
A winner, a professional football player, a community leader, a loving father, a Bobcat, a champion. All words to describe former Bobcat wide receiver great David Vela, who was a 4-year letter winner for Southwest Texas from 1979 to 1982, an era that's widely regarded as the greatest ever in Bobcat history, as Southwest Texas compiled a record of 42-8, a stretch highlighted by back-to-back Division II national championships in 1981 and 1982. Vela was a standout player during those glory days of Bobcat football, being honored as 2-time All-Lone Star Conference at wide receiver. He owns a school record in yards per catch, while ranking 3rd in team history in both receiving yards and touchdown receptions, also ranking 10th in career receptions.
Miller lofting one after the chases on, and Vela, as he stayed in bounds, has scored a touchdown. Wayne Schluchter and Tom Schuckman were chasing David Vela, and Vela just pulled away from them for his 12th touchdown of the season.
Vela's football playing days extended into the professional ranks, starting his pro career with the Oakland Raiders and later playing for the San Antonio Gunslingers of the USFL. Vela later traded in his cleats for a clipboard and whistle, embarking on an extensive teaching and coaching career in his hometown of San Antonio. He was inducted into the National Hispanic Sports Hall of Fame in 2009, and just this past year, Vela was inducted into the San Antonio Independent School District Hall of Fame. David Vela and his wife Irene have been married for 37 years, and they have 2 children, David Vela Jr. and Annalisa.
Thank you. Wow, this is so cool. I'm so blessed. I'm unbelievable. I'd like to thank the Tea Association, the Board of Directors, because they believed in me. Whatever I did 110% when I came to this university, and now I'm being acknowledged for that. And thank you. I really appreciate it. I want to thank Mr. Cordell and his staff. This is amazing. What y'all do, what y'all hold up, it's a blessing. I want to thank my family. Here's something. My mom and dad and my girlfriend, who's my wife now, they were in every game.
we're back. Well, so what did you think? Did that bring back memories?
Yeah, that one. I got inducted into the Hall of Fame at the university. I've never expected to make any Hall of Fames. I've made quite a few of them already, and it was never something that I dreamed about it, but I never knew I was actually going to be inducted into these Hall of Fames, and I've been blessed on that, but at the same time, nothing was given to me. I worked my tail off, like I said, every day, and that's why I'm a big supporter in whatever people do, and if they're trying to get started, just like when I didn't meet you, I just heard about you, and I would tell you to strive for your goal, keep going, go and shoot for the stars, have a dream, have a goal. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know it, and you know what? If you didn't get to that pinnacle or that point, you can't ever look back and say if I could have, should have, would have, because you did
Exactly.
it. You did it. You went further than what you expected. Now, if you didn't get there, I mean, but at least you. And then don't ever stop trying. Just keep going, and something's going to click.
I have a question here from TDK. He says, "Was Tom Flores your coach?"
Yes, John Madden had just retired, but he was there at our practices every day, and Tom Flores. And here's another thing where people need to understand is Tom Flores, Hispanic, Latino, Vela,
Right.
Hispanic, Latino, Jim Plunkett, half Indian, half Hispanic, Lawa Zato, half Hispanic, half I forgot what. So there was three of us. Um, and we didn't make it because Tom Flores was Tom Flores. We had to fight, but they were already in it. I mean, they were playing way beyond when I even got there. So now it was my turn to say, hey, you know what? I can make it not being a quarterback. I can make it not being a lineman. I can make it as a receiver, and the rest was history. And it was a challenge, like I said.
I have another video. I
Uh-oh.
can only find two. I'm not sure if you know about the other one I have, but I think that's also.
There's
Have you seen that video? The first one I showed
a
you?
lot of videos that I am not aware of.
Wow, that's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, it is. People put videos, and there's videos that I don't even like. A lot of my NFL stuff I don't even put out there. I made a clause to the NFL that I don't want myself out there in the open, and people. Yeah, I just do
I
that
think
because
you're out there
there was
though.
no protection at those times, and I still do it.
We got a Ana Loing Ochoa watching. Hello, Anna. Vicky V is still here. She says Irene is a beautiful person and just as humble as David. She said,
Yeah. So Irene was my high school sweetheart. She was a senior when I was a sophomore. She was a cheerleader. I was a football player. You know how that goes. Cheerleader, football player.
"I was a cheerleader. I know."
Yes, and then within years, people, then I was in college when I got married. She was already graduated from college, and I was like, everybody was like, "Why are you getting married and you in college?" I'm like, you know, back then it was, it's your high school sweetheart, the one you spend your whole, and people always say, "Well, you're not going to make it," you're da, right? Well, it's been 43 years together, and
Wow, congratulations.
yeah, and I mean, she's been
Fantastic.
through the hard times and everything, through my sports. I mean, every games, in the cold, in the snow, in the rain, in the heat. She was always there. My parents were always there. My mom still lives. My dad passed, but they were always there because they were like more in shock that I was doing what I was doing, and like I
Right.
said, it was a struggle, but I got there.
Awesome. So let's watch a little bit of this video. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I pulled it out of a hat.
Oh, I'm kind of scared of that one.
All right, here's another video about David Vela.
David Vela, class of 1979 from Burbank High School, was known as a sizzling speedster receiver with great hands. He was an all-city football player and was named to the 1970s All-Decade High School Football Team by the San Antonio Express-News. In the peak of his athletic career, Vela ran the 40-yard dash in a blazing 4.5 seconds. At 6 feet 2 inches and 180 pounds, he helped lead his Burbank Bulldogs to the school's only undefeated regular season at 10-0 in 1978. Besides football, he lettered in basketball and track. He starred on the Burbank basketball team that advanced to the state semifinals in 1977. He was a little All-American football player at Southwest Texas State University in San Marcos, now called Texas State University. He set a school record in most receiving yards and touchdown receptions in 1981, a record that stood until 2008. With Vela, the Bobcats won 2 National Division II football championships in 1981 and 1982.
Miller lofting one out there, incomplete to David Vela down the sideline. The chase is on, and Vela, as he stayed in bounds, has scored a touchdown. Wayne Schluchter and Tom Schuckman were chasing David Vela, and Vela just pulled away from them for his 12th touchdown of the season.
Vela played professional football for the Oakland Raiders of the National Football League and the San Antonio Gunslingers of the United States Football League from 1983 to 1986.
It's an honor to be part of the San Antonio Independent School District Athletic Hall of Fame. It's an honor to be with these individuals that I'm going to be placed on a plaque with. I want to say I'm speechless, but I'm honored. This is a dream that one day that I would make it to the Hall of Fame, and being part of the SAISD Hall of Fame it's also a blessing.
David Vela, a Burbank Bulldog and a 2018 honoree into the SAISD Athletic Hall of Fame.
Had you seen that video?
I've seen it just a couple of times, but I don't know how you grabbed that one. But yeah, there's some out there that I haven't seen and people
I
seen.
never know what I'm going to grab, but I found
Yeah,
it.
you
And I'm
never,
like, this is
you never
good.
know what people can find, and I'm like, oh.
I know. You never know what I'm going to pull out of there. But yeah, this is an amazing honor, just knowing your history. I'm very excited that I met you, and I'm sure everybody probably never seen those videos. So this is really good. They got to see some more history about you. Now we're going to go from that to acting. And I think you've been working on a lot of things. I see like your posts, and I love the fact that you're working on biblical stories and you're playing these soldiers. That must be so much fun.
Yes, it's like I said, it was something that I never planned. I think the Lord has blessed me and is giving me a new path to do, and it's just something that I wasn't ever thinking and imagining that I was going to do something like this. And you're right. Um, and the one thing I don't like to do, and I don't like doing it, and I know I share stuff so people can see, not because I want them to think that I'm somebody. I'm not, but an ordinary person like everybody else. I don't try to flash myself out there with these movies that I'm doing. I don't. I think I'm more excited about what I'm doing, and I want people to know that, wow, I never would imagine me doing this, kind of almost like the sports world that I did. So and back then it was either the agony of defeat or agony of or the victory, and this is kind of what I'm doing right now. It's not to spread anything that I'm better than anybody, because that's not my intention.
I think that you are inspiring people. I don't think people think that you're kind of bragging. I think it's an inspiration for people that you just never know the path God has for you. You just don't. People sometimes think that they're in control, and they're not in control. Like you said, you never thought you were going to be acting, and here you are, coming out in movies. What an inspiration for someone that has a history like you and someone your age. Like, you never know. It's not over. It's not over what God has.
Yes, and you're right. And I know a few NFL players have made it into the acting world. Like Carl Weathers, someone that came on Rocky, and he passed away. Um, Fred Dryer played a detective, and there's a few more. But this was something that I never would have imagined, and some people have helped me through this and guided me through this, as giving me the opportunity to see what I could do, because I've only been doing this almost maybe 2 years. So I just started, and I've done quite a few. I'm not going to say how many I've done. I've done a lot, but I'm not going to say, oh, I've done this, but I have done a lot. And I've been doing some big production ones, and the big one right now that I've done is actually The Chosen, which is on TV. It's a TV series,
That's
and
great.
I was just like blessed on that one to be a feature role in having the bride as my daughter. And it's going to be coming out. They have a little right now. They have a little trailer on it, and you see me a lot. So yeah, I've posted those because
That's great.
I was more like surprised myself, like, wow, I'm just on this film, kind of like say a little prayer. I came out a lot of times, and it's like I'm saying, it's not, and maybe a lot of it is because I'm, I know it says I'm 6'2", but I'm 6'3". I mean, I'm 245 pounds, 50
You're
pounds,
so
and
tall. I would be like,
so the camera kind of catches me because of my height. I mean, I'm not the tallest guy, but when it comes to Latino Hispanics, 6'3" is kind of
you're
tall.
tall.
And
Yeah.
now there's a lot that are getting taller, but I don't know what they're feeding these kids nowadays. But and like I say, because I coach and I have these big guys, I'm like, hey, what are y'all eating? But this acting has been uh, pretty pretty amazing. Um, they've been sending me big frames that I
Yeah.
have that I
Can you
can put on the.
show? Can we have that moment where we get to see all your secret stash of all
I
your
don't have all this
sweaters?
slides, but I'll just turn it real
Yeah,
quick.
turn the camera around. Everybody watch
I, I'll do it for
all your
you,
stuff.
Veronica. I'll do it for you because
Okay.
I don't, like I said, do my rings, and I don't do this. But so there's
But I
just
think it's cool. It's the coolest. Look at
there's
this guy.
some of my football stuff. Here's some of the
The
movies that I've
poster.
done, and then a lot of them are on the top, and then like the awards from that I've been getting. So yeah, a lot of it I have hidden still that I haven't put out. But like I said, I don't. That's
That's great.
yeah,
Well,
that's the first time I've done
thank
that. I mean,
you for
as you know,
sharing that.
I don't hang them on the wall yet. But even my football stuff, like I said, with my rings, y'all saw my rings. I don't think I've ever worn them to a gala, the music galas or that they've had that I wore. Anything but my wedding ring. That's about it. But that
Yeah, but you
was
know what? They're beautiful, and you earn them, with all your hard work. It takes discipline. It takes making sure you eat right, make sure you take care of yourself. Like, it's a lot. People don't understand is you still got a real life beyond that. You know what I mean? So you
yes,
juggle it all, which is like very hard sometimes for some people,
yeah,
and you worked hard for that. So I really am amazed at your story. I really
yeah.
am. And you're an inspiration to a lot of people.
Well, as you know, even like you were talking about the biblical things. There's one of them. It's called the Crimson, and I'm a Roman soldier. But on that one, I actually throw Jesus. And I look up and I pray to him. I said, "This is only an acting. It's not real. It's real, really, because I'm acting it." But
But when
uh,
you're in that moment, I think like when you almost feel like you're transported to that time. You've got the costume on, you're mentally there,
yeah, I'm a whole
right?
different. Yes, I have to play the character that they give me, and like I said, I'm not a professional, and I'm not better than anyone. They're just giving me these opportunities, and when they give it to me, it's just like in sports. I give 110 of, even when I did the interview and stuff, when I was talking at Texas State, that I always give 110% of what I do. And either people are going to like you and they don't, and they're going to say you got the role, you got the part. And if I don't get it, and if I don't fit that part, from directors or casting directors who tell me I just don't fit the part, because a lot of it is maybe my age. I got the build, I got the height. It's just, I mean, I know they can dye my hair and everything, so sometimes I have to grow all this because it's a part that I'm playing.
Right.
You'll be seeing me different features because that's what I'm playing on the part. It's not because I want to. It's just because that's my part.
Right.
I mean, I can talk about all the movies that I've done and give credit to a bunch of people, but they know who they are. If they're watching, and I do thank them for giving me these opportunities. And they asked me because they liked what I did and they like what I do. Um, and I'm not going to use sports as an advantage because this is something different.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, completely
now,
different.
now, am I well known? Yeah, um, it kind of, yeah. I mean, I went to the store today, and I kind of was in the way with the basket, and I said, "Oh, excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't see you coming. Hey, you're that? Are you David, that NFL football player?" And I go, and I hate to lie, and I'm not going to lie. I said, "Well, yeah, but that's been a long time ago." He goes, "No, no, but Latino, man, you need
Yeah.
to put it out there." And I'm not going to tell him my story. I said, "Yeah, I get you, but I'm more of a quiet guy. But you're right. Maybe I need to, and let. But my
You can
students,
inspire a lot of people with your story. So always think that, like, maybe God is using you as a vessel for someone that may be down, or they don't think they could do it, or because they're Latino, they feel like they're not going to make it. You could be that person, you
well,
know?
that's what I do a lot with my high school, because I'm a football coach. So a bunch of the kids, that my athletes tell me, "Coach, what do I have to do to get to where you got?" And I just tell them, you keep working. You don't know who's looking at you. You don't know what
Right.
image is up there on the stands in the game staring at you. You don't know. But if you're going to give a play and go 10, 15%, they're going to say forget you, because if you don't go hard every play, then they're not going to
Right.
look at you. But if you do, you'll get noticed. But it's true, and I tell them, not everybody's going to get noticed. Not everybody's going to go to a Division 1 college and play football. Not everybody's going to be an actor. Not everybody's going to get the part that you want. Everything's competitive, just like in the music business. In the acting business, everybody wants that role, so they're all fighting and doing what they have to do to get it. And it's just a lot of it. It's either you're just that good, or the Lord is blessing you.
That's what I
And
was gonna say. Like,
He's
not
done it.
everybody, yeah, not everybody has the opportunities, but God has the last say. You know what I mean? If
That's
He wants
right.
something, it as your story, that will be your story, regardless the obstacles, regardless the people that say a Latino can't do it. God has a plan, So I think, like, if people could keep God first and pray, things happen that
That's
you
that's
didn't even imagine happen.
you
I've
don't
always
imagine.
looked like that. Like, how did that happen? I don't know, but I'm gonna go through the door.
You're exactly right. I do my prayers, and I said, "Oh, I get it." And then for me to do like already 7 or 8 biblical movies that are
Yeah,
big productions, it's. I mean, yeah, I know I play a lot of the Roman soldier. It's like that's my. Hey, why didn't they ask me to be in the Gladiator? I was a Roman soldier, but I'm just saying. I'll just say it as a
it's
joke.
almost the same thing. So
As a joke,
I
but
have TDK is asking. I wonder if when Mr. Vela was young, did someone tell him it was wrong to be proud? Did anybody ever tell you it was wrong? Like, maybe
no,
they
I
thought that
told
that would be conceited, or you know what I'm saying? Is it
you,
wrong to be proud?
only person I'll tell DDK is my dad and mom have always told me, don't forget where you came from. we lived in and there I go. I don't want to talk about it because it,
Okay,
it, it makes me want to tear. But
I
um,
know. But I'm a
you
Chiona
know,
too, so if you
I
start crying,
always
I'll start crying.
I always took my mom and dad's advice to don't forget who I am because okay, you play in the NFL and people you see them now these basketball stars, baseball stars, they go and buy these $1 million homes, these fancy cars. Veronica, I mean, I have a decent big house, but I didn't ever go to the Dominions here in San Antonio or somewhere where to get just because of what I was doing. I don't have fancy cars. I have cars that are banged up, cars that are paint's coming off, and that's how I drive. And of course, my students are like, Coach, you played in and no, that's not. So I still go to my mom still lives in the neighborhood where I grew up because when I asked her I was going to move her when I did make it in the NFL, that's when my dad said, no, we're going to live here and don't you forget. So I always went back to the barrio, to my side of town and hung out with all my friends. Had parties for them. I mean, soda parties, not the drinking, all that party because I don't drink. I've never drank. I've never smoked ever in my life. So
Wow.
I had the food and everything. So I always went back to the barrio, and I've been doing that since. And my mom still lives there. So no, I wasn't out to be a flashy guy. And I'm not saying everyone who plays in that is flashy. I mean, that's just people want to do better than what they did when they grew up, and I
Right, right.
get it. But that's just not what I. That's
Well,
what I wanted to do. Sorry.
yeah. Well, we're going to be closing the show now. I don't have a very long show, only
Okay.
because I lose the interest if there's too many hours,
You're
talking.
right.
I
I
always want to
agree
get
with
to
you. I
the
agree.
person, and I feel like
I
this was
agree.
great, because people got to know more about you. They got to feel your heart and soul through this podcast, and that was my goal, was for people to know who David Vela was, to also thank you again for being an inspiration and a motivation for so many people, for always being involved in the music and uplifting the artist, because sometimes we get a little down too,
Yes,
uh
yes, yes,
we see the charts, we're not on there, we see different things, we're
yes,
like, am I doing the right thing? So just
yes.
to see you there, just to see you motivate, listen to your words and motivation, I want to say thank you very much for being on my show. You're a great
Please
guest.
do.
Thank you so much. And if
Thank you.
anybody had a casting or they wanted to get a hold of you, where would they find you?
I'm very private, but you can
I
find
know.
me. You can
Well,
find me
maybe on Facebook, right?
on Facebook, but I'm really like I've been doing that ever since I played. And another thing that I want to say is I didn't send you video clips of my movies that I'm
I know.
in.
We did.
I
We're
just
gonna have to have another interview.
that's why That's why I just post them on Facebook, and that's just the way I do it. I don't do it through the podcast. I say, "Hey, this is my movie." Hey, that's just like I said. If
I
people know what I do, I'm fine with it. If they don't, I'm fine with it. If they think I'm bragging or whatever, I'm not. I'm real humble. I
No,
just
I think
never
we got
know.
it
I
that you're not.
do
Yeah,
that.
you're a very humble person, and I
I was
understand.
even surprised I showed you my ring, and I never even wear them. Nobody's ever seen them. They're all like, "Wear your rings next time," and I don't. I won't do it. I just won't. And showing you what I have up here, the little that I have, because I'm not going to put them all over, is something that I would never have done, but I did it for you.
No, well, that's okay, and we appreciate you letting us into your private life and seeing some of the things that you've, collected. That to me is very, very amazing that we even got to see those rings. Because we don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, don't come and break into my house, but I'm
No.
just kidding.
But thank you, David Vela, so much for
Thank you.
all of your information, all of your heart, everything that you shared. And I hope God continues to open those doors for you. He continues to use you as a vessel for these young people, because it's so needed in the world to have just respectful, wonderful men like you. I mean, I feel like we need a lot of people. Some guys, they don't have father figures. You are truly someone that could be a father figure for many young adults, And
Yes.
thank you so much for that. If no one's told you, I want to tell you thank you, because that's
Thank
needed.
you. Thank
That's
you. Thank
needed.
you. Thank you very much. I know we're all in 2025, and I hope everyone, not only on the podcast, but everyone who's trying to get to where they want to get. I hope you all succeed. I hope you all just continue to do it. I'm being blessed. We're going to start season 6 in The Chosen. I have other filming that I have to go
That's
do,
great.
but I want them to know that whatever they're doing, I give all my blessings that they succeed, because I want people to succeed, because I'm at the age where I'm almost there where, yeah, we need the new generations, for us older people, to help them to strive to get high.
Right.
There are
And to
people who
positive.
need give them an opportunity, and some people are good. You just got to give them a chance and
Yes.
succeed.
All
And
right.
Tiger Mace, I got you. You're the
Yeah.
man. He is great. He is one podcast that pushes everybody.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there's a lot of
Every
other ones that I can talk about, but he's just, him and Hen Dog and them. They're great people. And thank you for having me on.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David. And we will talk soon. God bless you. We're going to close out the whole show with the Tiger Maze, Chaparrito Peligroso, only because that song has really brought a smile to so many people. So that's how we're going to close out your show, because I want to.
PDK, don't get upset when he dances. He's still the number one, but he's
I gotta
catching
get
up. He's
PDK,
catching
yeah.
up.
But thank you again. Muchas
Okay,
gracias.
thank
Que
you.
Dios lo bendiga,
Thank
okay?
everybody for coming on. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8.
Había un chaparrito que le gustaba bailar con una chaparrita que le gustaba cantar, y ese chaparrito todo le prometió y con sus ojos verdes a ella la cautivó.
No, 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 ¿cómo puede ser? Si ese chaparrito ya tenía una mujer. No, 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 ¿cómo puede ser? Si ese chaparrito ya tenía una mujer.
Es un chaparrito peligroso, muy amable, mentiroso, con un amor venenoso. El chaparrito peligroso. Un chaparrito peligroso, muy amable, mentiroso, con un amor venenoso. El chaparrito peligroso. Le bajaba las estrellas y la luna también, tocando su guitarra pa' que se quede con él. Y ese chaparrito todo le prometió y con sus ojos verdes a ella la cautivó.
No, 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 ¿cómo puede ser? Si ese chaparrito ya tenía una mujer. No, 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 ¿cómo puede ser? Si ese chaparrito ya tenía una mujer.
Es un chaparrito peligroso, muy amable, mentiroso, con un amor venenoso. El chaparrito peligroso. Un chaparrito peligroso, muy amable, mentiroso, con un amor venenoso. El chaparrito peligroso. chaparrito que le gustaba bailar, con una chaparrita que le gustaba cantar. Y ese chaparrito todo le prometió, y con sus ojos verdes a ella la cautivó.
No, 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 ¿cómo puede ser? Si ese chaparrito ya tenía una mujer. No, 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 ¿cómo puede ser? Si ese chaparrito ya tenía una mujer.
Es un chaparrito peligroso, muy amable, mentiroso, con un amor venenoso. El chaparrito peligroso. Un chaparrito peligroso, muy amable, mentiroso, con un amor venenoso. El chaparrito peligroso.
Pose. Pose.
Un chaparrito peligroso,
Pose.
muy amable, mentiroso.
Pose. One more. Sexy pose. Okay.